single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hello and welcome to justcomparecars.com. My name's James and today I'm going to be doing a walk around video of this 2016 66 plate Nissan Navara N-Connecta. It's a 2.3 DCI, 190 brake horsepower. It's done 78,000 miles and it's got full service history. Okay, so we've been doing these walk around videos for quite a while now, and we find them to be really popular because it means you get to view the vehicle from the safety and comfort of your own home, but as if you were here in person. As I go around the vehicle with you today, we'll look at all the panels individually, looking for any marks, any scratches or any dints. We'll look at the wheels and the tyres individually. We'll have a look in the back, then we'll have a look inside the vehicle, looking at the seats, the functionality. We'll look at the dashboard. We'll basically look at everything as if you were here in person. We'll start the engine, etc. I'll even tell you what it smells like. Once I've done that, we'll pop the bonnet, have a look at the engine, and then finally we'll have a look underneath at the underside of the engine, the chassis, and of course the spare wheel. Now, obviously once you've watched the video, if you're happy with what you see and you want to buy it, a small deposit will secure it, and we can pretty much deliver it anywhere in the world. If you're looking to finance a truck, we'll ask you for a deposit to cover the VAT. In some instances we can get around that, but obviously that will be subject to you and your personal circumstances. I will say, if you think I've missed something when you've watched the video, just give me a shout. I'm more than happy to show you absolutely anything. I will say, to date, I don't think anyone's ever actually asked me to show him anything else, so that should give you an indication that I don't really miss anything. I try not to anyway. Right, let's start with the bonnet and then we can work our way around from there. Hopefully you can see from that it's in nice shape. There's no obvious marks or dints. There are a couple of stone chips which I'll show you in a second, but in general it's really clean. So on the actual, it's just a normal place, leading edge of the bonnet. There's a couple there. They are tiny. Biggest one's probably that one there, and again, even that's like a pinhead type. There's a couple more here as well, but again, not serious. So driver's side headlight, front bumper, working our way along. There is a little mark there, tiny. Front grille, and then obviously passenger side headlight and the rest of the bumper. Onto the passenger side front wing. As you can see, it looks nice and clean. There are actually a couple of very, very light rub marks here. You can't feel them. It looks like it's just basically rubbed against a bush. And there are a couple on there, but it's far from serious. Actually, there's one there as well. That one's a little bit more, and I can feel that on my finger. Right, so passenger side front wheel and tyre, wheels in great condition. It's a Falcon Wild Track AT tyre. It basically looks new. I would guess at 10 mil-ish. Windscreen is very clean. I can't see any stone chips or cracks. Passenger side mirror is nice and clean. There's no damage either side. Right, so let's have a look over the top of the pillars first. And there's no dents on the pillars, no marks. Everything's nice and clean. Right, so let's go down the passenger side. All the gaps look good. There's no obvious dints on the panel. There are a couple of very light marks though. I'm not sure they're going to show up, but one there. Can't feel it on my finger. And there's a very light one there as well. And there's a bit of a scratch there. And again, I can't feel it on my finger. But all the gaps look spot on, so there's not been any accident damage or anything like that. Obviously it's HPI clear, but I just like to look at it as if I'm looking at it, if you know what I mean. Onto the rear quarter. Nice clean condition. This one, I don't know if it is yet. This one is ULEZ, so it's got the AdBlue, so that's good news. Obviously it's low emission zone compliant. Passenger side rear wheel and tyre, wheels in great condition. It's a matching tyre and matching tread depth. So rear quarter, hopefully you can see from that it's in great condition. Just zoom that out a little bit. So it has got a cover on the back, Eagle 4x4, basically just a load cover. So these, as you can see, just, yeah, that's it. So it just lifts off like that, and then obviously you can fold it back if you want to. Obviously it's not going to keep anything secure, it's literally just to cover it over. I'm doing that right actually, to be fair. But in the back, it's clearly been used. It's not got a load liner in it. Not sure what that's had in it, to be honest with you. Maybe a pallet or something. It's fairly scratched in the back. I think if that was me, I'd just put a load liner in it for the sake of 150 so quid. Just cover it up and give it a fresh look. Passenger side tail light, nice and clean, no damage. Rear bumper, again it's really nice and clean, there's no damage. Obviously there's a reversing camera, I will show you that working in a minute. Tailgate is nice and clean. There is a little bit of a mark there, I think. Yeah, it is a little tiny mark there, but nothing serious. There's no tow bar on this one, so it's not towed anything. Obviously these will tow 3.5 ton if you need it to, and you can put a ton in the back as well. That's lifted a little bit there. You could probably get it back together if you really needed to. Driver's side rear tail light, tail light's in good condition. There's a bit of a bit missing out of the side of it. As you can see, it's not misted up, so it's not broken the actual seal, so it's still all right. Right, so rear quarter, driver's side, nice and clean. There's no damage. Driver's side rear wheel and tyre, wheels in great condition again. It's a matching tyre, and again matching tread depth. Loads of tread on them, basically like new. That's your AdBlue. You're looking at about one tank of that to about 5 or 6 tanks of diesel, so it's cost effective, and obviously it reduces the emissions as well. Let's have a quick look at the roof, and again it's nice and clean, there's no damage. Right, so let's go down the driver's side. So let's do the pillars again first. As you can see, they're nice and clean and there's no damage. Right, so let's go down the driver's side. Everything looks nice and tidy. No dents, no marks, nothing that's obvious anyway. A couple of little stone chips there, look. Tiny, but they are there. Have one more quick look, make sure I've not missed anything. No, I don't think so. Right, so driver's side front wing, and again it's in nice clean condition. So final wheel and tyre, great news, it's a full set of Falcon Wildtrak AT tyres all round. They're all in fantastic condition, basically look like new. All the wheels are in good condition as well. Driver's side mirror back in clean condition, there's no damage. As you can see, the rear windows are tinted as well. Right, so let's look inside. It's always worth mentioning that as long as you've got your key in your pocket, then you can press that button there, which will open it and lock it. As you can tell, it's telling me off because the key's actually inside. Right, so driver's door card, really nice and clean condition. It's got the padded armrest, 4 electric windows, window lock, and then your door locks there, electric folding mirrors, and then your mirror control. On this part here, it has just started to come away a little bit. You can see the black showing underneath it. It's nothing, but it is there. Driver's seat, bolsters are really nice and firm, materials are really nice and clean, and that's throughout. On the seat there's an element of manoeuvrability, so you can bring it up and down, and then obviously that one does your backrest. Nice and comfortable seat. I've driven this one a couple of times, it's nice. Keys ish, 2 key fobs, proper Nissan feature, like get me words out, Nissan proper key fobs. Steering wheel is nice and clean. There's a little bit of wear. I don't know if someone's been wearing gloves while they've been driving it. Sometimes that does it, but there's a little bit of wear on the seat, on the steering wheel. It's nothing serious, but it's there. Tell you what, let's get it started. Fires into action straight away. Wait a second. So there's no warning lights on the dashboard apart from obviously your handbrake's on, and I'm not wearing my seat belt. As you can see, it's done 78,057 miles. So other than low fuel, let me just check. Flick through it. No warnings, so there's no warnings on the dashboard. I'll tell you what, it's pretty warm in here today, so I'm going to try the air conditioning first, because that'd be great if it works. Just put it down to low, put AC on, mode, bring the fan up. Good news, aircon works. We'll leave that on. Right, so steering wheel controls. To the right hand side is your cruise control. Pretty explanatory, I'm sure you've used that before. And then down below is basically you can answer your phone and hang up, and then that button there, if you press and hold it, that will give you voice commands as well. To the left hand side is basically your media center control. You've just seen me using it for this line on the dashboard. So basically this one here controls the center one, and as you can see, you've got a variant amount of options in regards to what you've got on there. So you can have your radio station, you can have your driving aids on there, whatever you want really, it's all on there. So everything works as it would do on here. Media center now, nice decent size screen. Obviously your navigation is standard on there. It works really well. It's very similar to your phone, so you can move it around with your finger and you can pinch in and zoom out. That all works fine. What's worth noting, you've just seen that green arrow come up. If you've got a postcode of a place and it doesn't recognise it because it just needs updating, what you could do is you can go into maps, find the place that you're going to, and what you can actually do is if you click and hold, so we're going to go to Hardy Barn, click and hold the screen, the finish flag comes up, click on OK, and it'll direct you to it. So that's quite decent, to be honest with you. I know it's a little bit more work than what you would do normally, but for that extra bit it works. Radio, so obviously you know you've got DAB. If you click on that, so you've got AM, FM, DAB, of course. I'm thinking of the other one. So DAB is pre-populated for where you are. It's also got CD players, got SD card slot as well. Click on info, click on my apps. On there you can plug your phone in, so you've got Eurosport, Google, TripAdvisor, and you can add others as well. So it's not Apple CarPlay, but it works in a similar sort of way. Reversing camera, nice and clear screen. It's a little bit misted, so it probably just needs a wipe over on the camera, but it's easy to use, dead easy to see. Decent size screen, and then obviously just normal settings as normal. Dashboard is nice and clean, it's free from damage, just looks nice and clean. Passenger seat, bolsters feel like new, material looks like new. If I was a gambling man, I don't think that's been sat in, and if it has, not very often. In the front, cup holders, your armrest, and inside there you've got your 12 volt socket. It's obviously a 6-speed manual gearbox, switchable 4-wheel drive, hill descent, and then you can lock and unlock your vehicle from there, and as you can see or hear, it works. Down below is USB and your auxiliary, so you can plug your phone in, and then there's a 12 volt socket there as well. Passenger door card's nice and clean, glasses holder, roof lining is nice and clean, it's free from damage, and I can tell you it smells nice inside. It doesn't smell like it's ever been smoked in, and everything is nice. Obviously air conditioning works as well, that's a bit of a bonus as well. Right, switch off. Down by your right knee is your stability control, stop start, and then obviously illumination for your clocks, and then your trip reset. Dead easy to use, and everything works nicely. Down here is your bonnet catch. We'll have a look at that in a second. Let's have a look in the back. So door cards are nice and clean. There is a little bit of damage on that one there. I don't know if you've maybe stored something in the back, or I don't know. But seats in the back are really clean. Everything looks bob on. As I'm recording this, there's a choice of 2 of these. We do have another one as well. Basically the same, to be honest with you, but obviously if this one sells, then the other one's available, so keep an eye on that one as well. But yeah, spot on. Right, so we'll come to the bonnet. Right, so under the bonnet, again, 78,000 miles, it's got full service history, nice and clean. There's a turbo unit, as you can see, there's no oily residue around it, everything is nice and clean. All the fluids are clean and to the correct levels as well. Now, I bet you think to yourself they've cleaned it. If you look at the pipes, you can see we haven't cleaned it. This is just as it is. As you can see, there's plenty of dust and whatever on here. This is just as it's come. But yeah, there's no signs of any historic oil leaks around the engine bay. Everything looks really nice and clean and dry. Yeah, spot on. Just make sure I've not missed anything. Obviously just pause it, or if you want to see something else, give me a shout. I will happily do it for you, it's not a problem. So yeah, there's no signs of any historic oil leaks. That's the important thing, and as far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm looking for when I'm buying a vehicle, is it had an oil leak, and it obviously hasn't. Right, so let's have a look underneath. So underneath, again, you can see there's no signs of any historic oil leaks. Everything's really nice and dry. The chassis is in great condition. Everything's bob on. It does drive nice as well. Rear diff. And again, it's dry. There's no oily residue around it. Spare wheel is a steel, and it's a Continental tyre. It looks like new. So again, a bit of a bonus. Okay, so hopefully I've shown you everything that you would need to see if you were here in person, and probably a little bit more. I know we'll go on a little bit, but I'd rather show you absolutely everything than not enough. So thanks for watching and sticking with me. I really appreciate it. More importantly for the moment though, stay safe, look after yourself. Bye bye.